I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. I have a dream.
5 decades ago today, Americans came to this honored place to lay claim to a promise made at our founding. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
The march was absolutely amazing, very inspirational. I like the way the president emphasized there's basically 2 ways of thinking about our future, positive or negative. But if we stick together and focus on the principles of our founding fathers, including Martin Luther King, we can lock arms shoulder to shoulder and press through the gates that are attempting to stop us.
1963, I remember so well. And I also remember the day that Dr. Martin Luther King got killed.
Were you here in 1963?
Yes, I was here in 1963. And one of the things that happened when Dr. King got killed, I said that I was going to propel myself to move forward. And I was going to make a contribution to the future.
Came because my generation is the future and I want to take part in this and the next 50 years.
I felt the energy and the compassion with all the speakers, and I was just glad to bring my younger sisters out here to be in the environment of something so powerful and to celebrate it 50 years later.
Absolutely.
The reason why we came here, other than in and of itself, is it also happens to be my birthday. I was 1 year old when he gave his speech, and I've been moved by it ever since. And I've been planning this trip for 7 or 8 years, ever since I knew that that 50th anniversary was coming up. I had to be here. And I'm planning on being here for the 75th anniversary when I'm 76. So, and it's been a wonderful day, and I'm so glad I came.
It was nice. It wasn't as many people here as it was in the first March 1963. But it was a large crowd here.
And everybody was peaceful.
We really enjoyed it, yes.
Everybody was peaceful, different cultures intermingling. It was nice. Well, we don't have the same motivation as we did then, because some people think we have arrived, but we haven't.
We haven't.
We're getting there, but we haven't gotten there yet.
Yes, I do see a comparison. The comparison is that people still recognize that we are not where we need to be. Everybody out here who came today made a contribution to the future. Just by being here is a contribution.
To see the strength and the determination that they had and compare it to the strength and determination and the spirit that we have these days, I do notice a difference. But it's as a result to me of them accessing educational tools, even when it wasn't on the internet, that they would share with each other. And that's what is really so important about today, because we actually have more access to that type of knowledge and education by using the internet. And if we would spend more time on things like education versus entertainment, which can be a distraction, Facebook, Twitter, that makes them rich, but we got to make ourselves rich educational wise.
I think there have been a lot of changes. When you think, in only 50 years a lot has been achieved, but then I think sometimes in 50 years that there should have been more that's happened. My fear right now is I feel like we're going backwards with the Supreme Court ruling and other similar laws making it more difficult to vote. I don't understand the laws making it more difficult to vote instead of easier to vote. It just should be easy to vote, not more difficult. That makes no sense to me. And so in so many ways I feel like we're going backwards when we should be moving forward. Every year should be a move forward, not fighting to reclaim what we had 10, 15, 20, 50 years ago.
Saw so much diversity here at the march today. And it was very encouraging because conscience, which is what the president talked about today, that consciousness that was created in 1963 at the original march, that consciousness, it really does sweep across the nation, and it sweeps across racial lines. And you see that more so these days because there's so much diversity now, and even having change in the White House, as the president mentioned, is a result of that type of consciousness, knowing that we can do something to fix the problems that we face.
I do the character interpretation of Dr. King. I memorize his speeches. I think his words, remembering a man's words, especially a man of intellect like Dr. King, is the most important thing that you can do to honor his life and his legacy. There's no other way to really do it wholeheartedly. I have a dream that one day, down in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification. One day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today